Hello everyone, Daniel and Lily here with Chimpies. Thank you all for tuning in today. We appreciate it. Today we're going to go ahead and show you how we go about creating custom t-shirts on our end. So without further ado, let's dive straight on into it. So for this setup, we are going to be running Silhouette Studio to a Silhouette Cameo 3. As you can see, we have a custom mandala piece that we did right here. We created ourselves on our end. So we are going to be using a transparent PNG version of this custom mandala. We're going to go over to the right. We're going to select this trace tool, and then we're going to go ahead and select trace area. From this point forward, you're going to want to go ahead and highlight your selected trace area. And this could apply to pretty much any design that's dominant black. And then from that point forward, you're going to want to go ahead and mess with the scale and threshold to go ahead and meet your needs on your end for the design at hand. As you can see, there's a JPEG version of that specific design at hand, but we are choosing to go with the transparent PNG as we're able to capture more detail within the cut. So once you've defined your parameters and everything is set accordingly on your end, select trace. What that is going to do in Silhouette Studio is going to give us the information that we need to send to the Silhouette Cameo 3. This is a tracing, and this is basically what's going to be cut in the Cameo 3, and then from there we could weed and apply to the shirt. We will show you the entire process accordingly as well, so bear with us as we get to that part of the process. As you see up close, everything is looking nice. This is what the Cameo is going to be cutting. And again, as you see, all the details are captured well, I feel, within this specific piece. There's no distortion and or pixelation going on, and that's due to using a higher quality image such as the transparent PNG. From here, we're going to want to send the information on over to the Cameo 3. And to do that, you just simply select the top send tab at the top right as you saw. And then from there, you're also going to want to make sure that all of your parameters are set to your setup on your end. So if you're using an auto blade, make sure your blade set correctly, make sure your material set correctly, and your actions as well. So that's also very important. So we are now in the sending phase of the design because we have the tracing. We need to go ahead and send it to the Cameo 3, and this is how you go ahead and do that. Very simple, very straightforward with the Silhouette setup. Now, just to go over and reiterate, make sure that you are setting the correct materials, actions, and tools on your end. Make sure all the appropriate parameters are set for the materials and specific setup that you are using. So we felt the need to go with a more intricate and elaborate design to kind of demonstrate the cutting power and overall really demonstrate the point of creating a custom t-shirt on our end. So as you see, yet again, we have this custom mandala. All the parameters are set. We are just about ready to send this information to the cutter. Before we do that, let's dive on over to another angle and show you all how we apply HTV and what we apply it on. So for this custom t-shirt, we're going to be using this 12x12 mat. We're going to want to remove the blue wax paper. And as you see, the HTV is like a nice metallic red color. We're always going to want to put the color face down on the mat when applying it to the adhesive mat. And you're going to want to line it up as best as you can. So if your color was white, you're going to want to put the shiny white side down or matte side down. If your color is black, you're going to want to put the black side down, navy blue side down, and so forth. You get the idea. You want to ensure that everything is aligned. When you flip the mat over, you should see your color on the side facing you with the adhesive side facing outwards. To ensure a smooth cut, we like to place the mat down and kind of just firmly press on the HTV just to kind of securely bind it to the mat. We are now ready to fire up the Silhouette Cameo 3 here and place the mat into the machine for cutting. I just wanted to touch base here in Silhouette Studio. As you see, to flip the design, you just want to click the green dot up top, and as you see, we're dragging it to the left, which is manually switching the design. So that way it cuts correctly because we didn't put a full 12x12 HTV on there. We did this approach to save HTV as this is all that we needed. So now that we have the design, we've traced the design, we are now ready to place the mat into the Silhouette Cameo 3 here. And to do so, it's very, very simple. Again, Silhouette coming in with the very intuitive and smooth workflow. You simply want to take your mat and line it up with the corresponding line and arrows on the left and right in the machine, in which I will show you here. I will also zoom in up close and give you a better view while the machine is in cut right here, showing you up close where the mat is lining up. So to the left over here, there is a corresponding line that ensures the line up there upon cutting, you can see it's going in and out through the cut there, and it still stays lined up. And on the right side, there's another corresponding arrow that also lets us know and is a good indicator that we are lined up correctly. You can see the wheels right there. The mat is lined up appropriately. There's that arrow as I mentioned. So from here on out, it's a simple waiting game, being patient until the cutter is done cutting the intricate design. Typically a design of this much detail, and I would consider this more on the advanced side, more on the detailed side rather, upon cutting HTV. This one took about 7 to 8 minutes total, give or take some change. But nonetheless, I do like, however, within Silhouette Studio, it'll actually tell you the time frame in which it'll take for each cut. So that's also a good indication and a good handy little feature there that Silhouette Studio offers. So when the cut is done, to unload the mat, you simply want to press the unload button, and as you see, the mat rolls out like so, and we are presented with the final cut right here as you see in the HTV. It's a bit hard to tell right here, but it's definitely cut, and we will now begin weeding this specific design to put onto the shirt. So we are now ready to weed the design to put onto the shirt. Depending on the design, this can definitely be time consuming. This specific design right here, since we decided to go very intricate and detailed, this one took about 25 to 30 minutes if I remember correctly. We will make an in-depth review and show you how we go about weeding, as well as we feel like there's some things that we can touch base on along the way that may help you. So be sure to check that video out. Once the weeding is done, we are now ready to turn on the heat press and place down the design on the shirt. As you see right here, we are using the MPRESS, which we got from HeatPress Nation. I will also leave links in the description below for you so you can check this out on your end. Now, a very important variable to consider upon pressing HTV is the specific materials settings and guidelines. Make sure that you are following the specific rules and setting the specific temperatures and everything in ordinance to the HTV that you are specifically using. So if I remember correctly, this specific metallic red HTV was going to be set to a temperature of 302 as you saw on the paper. And I believe if I'm correct, every material is going to be different. I don't believe I've ever had any specific materials that worked the exact same. It's always going to be different. So just make sure that you're taking your time and you're reading and adjusting your temperature accordingly, as this is going to greatly impact the results that you receive upon pressing. So what we are doing is setting the temperature to 302 degrees, and then we're also going to set the timer for 15 seconds. Now again, I truly feel that exhausting this part right here is very, very important. Ensure and make certain that you are reading the specific standards and guidelines that your specific material requires on your end. Once we fine-tune all the settings, we're just simply going to wait and let the heat press heat up to the desired temperature, and we're going to proceed to press the shirt. As the MPRESS is heating up, let's touch base on the shirt. The shirt that we are using for this specific press is going to be 100% cotton. Most HTVs are compatible with most fabrics. However, you still have to read into the HTV that you're using specific to avoid any complications that may occur. We are going to place the 100% cotton shirt down on the MPRESS, and what we're going to do is press it down for 5 seconds to remove any moisture that can or may be existing within the shirt itself. Upon doing so, we then take a lint roller to clear the area of any debris and or lint that may exist on the shirt as well. So that way we get a smooth, clean area to place the design down. Once we clean the area, we're going to want to place the design down, and to do so, there's a couple of ways. We have a ruler guide right here like you see. Place it around the neck, follow the design accordingly, or we can go ahead and go the old school, more manual way where you fold the shirt directly in half. You place a bit of the shirt on the heat press and create a seam down the middle of the shirt, like so. And what that does is it gives you a line going straight down the middle of the shirt, and you can place the design accordingly using that line. To each their own, you can go ahead and use either method. They both get you to where you are going. So those are some practical approaches that you can take to apply the design to the shirt correctly at hand. Now we're going to take the design as well. What you can do is fold the design in half, and what that also does is kind of the same concept with the shirt. It gives you a line down the middle of the design to line up with the shirt itself, so that way we're not working blind and or guesstimating, so to speak. So now that we have a seam line on the shirt and the HTV transfer, we can use those seam lines to line up with one another. We like to typically place our designs about 4 fingers down, as you see right here. That pretty much applies to every single design that we press onto a shirt. Once we get a good lineup going, we then want to put the shirt fully onto the MPRESS, so that way we get a thorough press upon pressing. As you see, we're just making sure everything is fully placed onto the press itself. We then want to take a ruler, and we always like to double check, make sure everything is lined up and there isn't any adversities upon the measurements, last check measurements here that we're doing. Once everything is lined up and placed accordingly, we like to go and just give it one last press to ensure that it is binded to the shirt with the adhesive from the plastic filming from the HTV transfer. Now, from this point forward, we just simply are going to place a piece of Teflon material over and begin to press for the desired time with the desired temperature. We are going to proceed now to press this specific design for 10 seconds at 302 degrees. It's important to follow the manufacturer's materials, details, and guides that you are using, so that way everything goes smoothly. Now, for this specific design, for this specific HTV, it is a cool peel, so we're not going to want to peel and pull it right away. What we're going to do is we're going to use a sponge with some Teflon wrapped around it, and we're going to use the surface table around temperature, and we're going to use it to transfer some of the cool temperature to the HTV itself, cooling it down quicker than it would have, so that way we can get the shirt done in a more timely manner. We like to ensure before pulling up the last part for the design, because we're almost home free, we don't want to ruin it, so we want to make sure that it's at a comfortable temperature. We can shake it up a little bit at this point, and here we are for the peel. So for those who are ready, here we go. As you can see, following the manufacturer's instructions is ideal. The peel came out perfect. The design came out great. This shirt is now done and completed. Now, if you have any questions, or if you saw something along the way, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop them in the comments down below. We will do our best to assist you into the best possible direction possible. For those who are interested, we also do have social medias under Chimpy's Designs. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all under the same name at Chimpy's Designs. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for us, as we would genuinely appreciate your support. We will bring in more videos like this for you all. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a great day.